All right, let's take a look at some presidential candidate news. First, let's talk about William Weld. This is a shocking development. We have the first Republican challenger to the sitting Republican President Donald Trump in the person of William Weld. Mr. Weld is the former governor of Massachusetts, and he's also the immediate past vice presidential candidate for president for the Libertarian Party. Bill Weld was always a kind of Rockefeller, I guess, Republican or a New England Republican. And what that means, if you don't know, is they generally support lower levels of taxation and regulation, but they're not going to get crazy about it. They're okay with all kinds of gun controls, and they are decidedly pro-choice on the abortion question. Well, Bill Weld was not being paid attention to, and he found somebody who would pay attention to him, and it was the Libertarians. So he joined the Libertarian Party and became their vice presidential candidate. I wrote an op-ed at the time saying how horrible it was because Bill Weld was not, in fact, a Libertarian, and since those candidates didn't have a shot of actually winning the race, then it should be used as a platform to get libertarian ideas out into the world. So I think that Bill Weld has lost his welcome in the libertarian circles because they've mostly come to that realization as well in terms of the capital L Libertarian Party circles, to distinguish from the lowercase l, just sort of people who I identify as or support those ideas. So anyway, Bill Weld has now found himself another home to make some hay, and it is as Donald Trump's challenger for the Republican nomination for president. Here's what he expects to accomplish.
Your former press secretary told the Boston Globe, if the goal is defeating Trump, the best option is for him to run as a Republican because primary challenges he means you, have historically weakened sitting presidents. So is it your ultimate goal to weaken President Trump for the general election rather than beating him in a primary?
No, not rather than beating him, but it is part of my thinking to make sure that he doesn't repeat. We don't have 6 more years of the antics, frankly, that, for want of a better word, that we've seen the last 2 years. I think that would be bad for the country, and I don't care who knows it.
The antics? Really? This guy says he's a Republican and a limited government Republican at that, and that's what he's worried about, the antics? This is a person who said that he would support Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump, and he thinks the Republican base could vote for him? No. Just to be clear, there's only one reason why Bill Weld is in this race against Donald Trump, so that people will pay attention to him. That clip is from the program This Week, an ABC News production that is their sort of premier political news and discussion property. Well, they don't care what Bill Weld thinks unless he's running for president against Donald Trump. And so that's why he is, because he gets to go on and people fuss over him and care what he has to say. You shouldn't. He's a nothing burger.